welcome to Stop Now. This is our third week of our
Yeah,
talk show without any
yeah.
guest, and it's with our team.
Mm,
Shiva,
mm,
co-host, is here.
yeah.
Welcome, Shiva. Welcome back.
Yeah, hi JK. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? You have been on vacation, so how was your trip?
Yeah, actually this is not like my like journey like vacation or something. Like it's a little bit of family issues and it'll happen. So I don't want to brief on the vacation on my background, family background and everything. Let we go with our teamworks and other thing.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Yes, we understand that, right? So life throws curveball at us, and we have to handle that. And
Yeah.
sorry and condolence to your family on that. I did
Mm,
don't want to discuss that here, but as you know that our team was progressing well, and Amar was being very active. Hopefully, he
uh,
might join us. I don't know, but he is having trouble in his country with power outage, like how we had some of the folks from Pakistan. They dropped out for various issues.
yeah.
Similar to it, he is also facing. Hopefully, he will stand
Mm,
with us. And
mm.
this week again, good news, Nate is buying a car and he is busy with his life. So he was not able to
Oh,
join with us for the last 2 weeks. Hopefully, he
oh,
returns
yeah.
back. And just like you
Mm,
are back now. So in terms of
yeah.
the project, the experiment, it is going fine. And a couple of your
Mm,
projects are being handled. And
yeah.
just like Nate always says that with charm that he got fired, I did got fired
Oh,
on your behalf. And also
oh,
Ram also got fired. You might have heard from him. So the RRC project, State of Texas Railroad Commission project, has come to an end, and it came in a dramatic manner. And he was surprised. He was taken back. Why did they fire me? Like, and he was really mad and pissed off for almost a week. And then somehow we just convinced him, like, let's move on. It's a part of our experiment, right? So we can't do anything about it. And they were not even paying. Do you know that?
yeah. I didn't know like what happened. What happened? Like why they are not paying?
Yes. So the fun part on your behalf, I escalated it uh, to the CEO level and copied everyone in the email chain. You'll be surprised. I wanted to play out to our audience viewers as well, show that like he
Uh,
still has access. I mean, like the RRC
oh,
has not. They have terminated the contract. They have sent it to the vendor through an email
uh,
to let him go and return the laptop. And
oh,
you always keep saying that. I remember that, like, just return the laptop, not to
yeah,
create any
yeah.
problem. But this time again, like
Yes.
we played it out the same way. We didn't return the laptop, and we
Uh,
tried to access the email, and it is still active. Still, we are able to access the emails and also join the meetings. And you can see the
oh,
chat and all those things. I will play that out maybe today or in the next episode. And the fun part with that access, we were able to, obviously, we are not going to do anything, delete or create any damage on that. We just found out the top management emails, and I emailed to them because the vendor was playing out, uh, going back and forth, saying that, like, we didn't receive the payment, this, that, and all. So I wrote a harsh
mm,
email saying that we are being
oh,
not paid for 3 months and got fired and treating us
mm,
like a slave, all those things, just as a part of our experiment.
oh,
I played that out,
yeah.
and
Mm,
immediately it backfired, it seems. And the vendor reached out, and they have paid the last 2 months, and still
oh, that's nice.
a 1 month of payment is pending, but we got
Okay.
paid. That's a good news. Again,
Oh,
so when you escalate things, it
mm,
works. It definitely works, and they have to react and they have to pay for what we have done so far. So that was a wonderful experience with the team as such, I would say.
What happened for other projects like so Ram have terminated and Gupta another project?
Yes, that is going on, right? So the Intute one, that is ongoing and it's going well because of the nature of the project. It is not even a project manager role, it's more of a support person who does the analysis, system analysis, or help the team like to troubleshoot and fix things, those kind of roles. So Ram and Gupta both are handling it, it seems. So they just switch between the meetings or just working on the background with the links, and so that way, like, it's going well without any trouble as of now. But we'll not get to know like when it will get fired. So that is the surprise here, and there is no human connection at all, right? So the surprise part, what we intend to prove to our audiences as part of our experiment, it is your profile, and
Yeah.
they don't care, right? The Cognizant billion-dollar company doesn't care who the real person is and whether he is working or not. Nobody cares unless somebody from the client side escalates and makes a complaint on who is working on the project is not working well, or budget cut, we don't have enough money to go with this contract. Then only it becomes a problem. Otherwise, like, it looks like any robot, anybody can work. That is what we wanted to prove here, right? So the original person is not working, somebody else is working from some other country altogether. The beauty here is like working totally from a different country altogether by a different person. And it amounts to clear cut violations and fraud and crime, right? Period. No doubt. But still, it can be executed, and it is being executed in large scale. And we know that, like, even for clearing the interviews, like, that was our initial contention, right? Saying that like people are faking, they are filing different uh, person to clear the interviews. All those things are, again, we are trying to engage with people, and we are continuing to do that as well. But Amar and you, everybody asked the same question: how long are we going to do this, right? So the only part now, I had a discussion with Amar as well last week. So we decided like to promote it vigorously so that it becomes viral, and people, even Amar asked a good question: what happens? Did any government authorities take action, or they reach out to us? Nothing of that sort is going to happen, right? Because if somebody complains on us or we complain on somebody else, then only the authorities come into picture. Otherwise, they don't care. So it's like a free ride, as long as. So that's why, like, I wanted to play out the RRC video. We will start doing that, and we have launched our experimental lab channel as well. We will continue to live stream everything on our entire process of our experiment, beginning from the recruitment till getting fired. So that way, we will play out each and every client individually, because we are not targeting any one particular company, right? Last time I played out like the Apple interview. Do you want me to play that continuation of that Apple interview, or the RRC project?
The Apple interview, you can just play out.
All right, give me a minute. I'll take that out. And hi, Vijay. Good evening.
Very good. So we do have 5 more minutes for the customer to join, and I really appreciate you joining early. So this way we are clear, we don't miss anything. So I had another customer interview little earlier today morning. The candidate, what he did, he clicked the link, because once he clicked the link, it will open in a WebEx and it will ask you to click join meeting, right?
Yeah.
That gentleman did not click join meeting, and but I opened the bridge and I called him. Okay, what he did, he put it on flight mode. He doesn't want to be disturbed. He put it on flight mode. So I am unable to call him, and I am unable to, he's not responding to text also. After 6 minutes, he's calling me and asking, nobody joined. But before that, customers, they joined and I apologized to them saying that, sorry, I think he's facing some issues, so I am unable to. And they are even okay to conduct the meeting over a telephone call, mobile call, voice call. But he put it in flight mode and I couldn't reach out to him. It was pathetic. So I don't know. Some people are like that.
They get nervous.
After you join the meeting, then you go on a flight mode if your mobile comes. That makes sense actually. But without even joining, then how I figured out, I asked him to join via Google Meet. Okay, I asked him to share the screen. Where do you say, because you don't see anybody, you don't see, because I am in alive. How do you say you are not seeing me? Then I saw he did not click the join meeting. Sometimes I see in the Google side some prefixes doing. I mean, Google, I don't know, when he responded equal, some equal symbol and 20 and all I saw in that. That's why today I was telling him I will join 10 minutes before. So if any issue, you call me. But it didn't work well today. It's okay. At least in your case, it works. These guys are cool guys. And I think they won't mind. But it's good job.
Hey, I'm here.
Oh, hey, Tony. We were just talking. Thanks a lot.
Take that off. Hi.
Hi, Tony. So I have here our QCS person, and so I will move away now, and I leave both of you. Okay.
Thanks, Vijay. Hi, Tony. How are you?
Thanks.
Cool. Thank you. Bye, Vijay. I'm seeing a little bit of a delay on our WebEx. Are you getting a clear signal from me?
Yes, I was going to say that, you just brushed your hair, kind of thing. So I thought it's coming delayed, your voice is not syncing up.
Okay. Is it better now?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. So nice to meet you. Let's start up here. Let me just bring up my notes and we will begin. Hold on 1 second, please. There we go. Okie dokie. So, do you know the position that you are interviewing for at Apple?
Yeah, Vijay mentioned briefly about the scope of the project and also what we do and technical.
Okay, so we work on the Apple Store, which is the ability to buy physical objects, not the App Store, which buys digital, but Apple Store. So if you want a Mac, if you want an iPad, instead of going to the physical store, you do it online. And our group works on that part of the app that's actually on your iPhone. Okay. All right. So in your own words, can you give me a brief overview of your current job, of your current job responsibilities? And you can tell me other experiences as they come up. What do you like about being a project manager? What, of all the skills that a PM has, what skill do you think that you are absolutely best at? All righty. Can you give me an example of something like that where you felt like you did something really, really great? I mean, you may do this regularly. It's what you're good at, but can you think of something that was kind of challenging that you had to use that skill for? So Apple is a hybrid. Apple, and let me say our version of Apple, right? Apple has a lot of divisions, but our division is hybrid. So we're not completely agile. We're not completely hybrid or waterfall. We're in the middle. Have you had experience with that? Okay, so you have a lot of experience with that. So what do you see as a common challenge with that hybrid, with the two philosophies? What do you see as a common issue? I mean, that's all. We all want the same thing, and if it was easy, they wouldn't need us, right?
Yes.
So it's not as easy as that. Give me an example of something that you had to do where you saw like an issue with the two philosophies, an issue with a waterfall versus an agile. and what you had to do to resolve it. Okay, so can you give me an example of a specific time where you had to do one of those things, where you had to address a problem that was that was more waterfall in the beginning, but then you needed to become agile? Okay, can you give me a time where you had a requirement that was really unclear, and what did you have to do to resolve it? You know, give me a good example. Yeah, because assumptions are made, and all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, if I knew that, I would have done it differently, right?
Exactly. That's
okay. So what did you do to address it? Okay, and we usually in Agile we rely on the product owners to document the requirements, but as things happen, things change. Sometimes the requirements change. Sometimes you engineer it and you find out that you actually have edge cases to the way that you have to implement that. What's your process of documenting those deltas from what comes in from the original plan? Okay, so you just push it back to the product owners to make sure that they update their work.
yes.
Okay. Okay. So this is we're running out of time, and I was a tiny bit late, so
No worries.
but we have to watch that. So I have one last question, and that is, can you give me an example of a time where somebody thought something was impossible, but you were able to make it happen? And was there anything sort of extraordinary that you were able to bring to that? Outside of just saying, hey, I need some more time and resource to get the work done, or more money and people to get the work done in time, or was there something extra that you had to provide? Okay, thanks. All right, so I just want to end with any questions from you. Within our group, we have a large number of people. I'd say probably over 100. Of those, they're broken down to different functions, QA and server and client and development, PMs. Those are the basic categories. That's just our group until we start to get to the other groups, which represent business and legal and production operations and bigger. It's Apple. But from our core area, generally the groups, when we work on projects, they are a couple of, it could be between, I won't say the wonderful standard of 5 to 9, but it tends to be around that number of people per group that you're interacting with on this core, on the core features you're responsible for. But then again, there are also many other people that we interact with to deal with services or other things that are outside of our group. At this, my critical feedback is I'm taking the information. I'm trying to think about all the questions I've asked you and, what your experiences are with that, how they relate to what we do, how they relate to other candidates we're going through. And I believe you'll be talking with other people and, their opinions are just as important as my opinion. So I'm just one checkbox on many checkboxes that you have to go through.
Perfect. Thank you. It's nice meeting with you.
Thank you. Have a good time. Do you already have another interview set up?
So this was, I'll play this out and then the audience can view this. This was part of our 2 3D interviews with the TCS, through TCS for Apple. 2 managers, they did that. And obviously, since you went out and we didn't accept that offer, and since we also already working on TCS, that we informed them the same, saying going back to India, so you won't be available for a month. We took a break, and I happened to go back now because I informed them you're back. So I have to start working on the project again, and that is going to get fired. That's for sure. The reason is because I have not been doing, because I have been busy with my own projects and all this we are doing in stop now. So that's where anytime we might in the near future we will get fired in that project as well. just to give you an update on that. And meanwhile, I wanted to name out the clients, end clients, and play out those projects that we have recorded so far, right? Because we have been holding it like as a private only videos. Now we have the experiment lab, we can start publishing it and creating that chaos in the industry, and to let know everybody that this is what is happening. It's like playing with the fire. You're ready for that, Shiva? Hopefully our team agrees to it.
Yeah. Yes, we'll go on.
Any other topic you think we can discuss for this week? Then we will do that. Otherwise, we will go with this. If you have any questions, just go ahead and ask.
One thing, after the Apple project, you got the project or?
Yes, the existing project, right? So with Charles Schwab, like it got terminated, so you got fired.
Oh.
And again, they didn't give a reason. They just said like, okay, it is budget cut and all those that is happening in the industry. So that way, like, I don't understand, right? So how can they, it's who has to be blamed in this, right? Who is to be faulted? You can't even plan for 3 months or 6 months, and you hire somebody else and fire them like in a week or a month. That's pathetic, right? So everybody plans things, right, and come up with a hope, right? I'll be there working for this project for 6 months, or leaving the existing one and coming to it and then getting fired. What do you do? That is where like you don't have a proper legal course, right? Nobody can, again, this problem what I face is like, they end our contract with one vendor, but the same company for which like other vendors are reaching out saying that like they have position. And now like you, Nate, for everybody's profile, there are so many positions coming up through different vendors for Bank of America, and interviews are lined up in the next week. So you will be surprised, right? So you have been working for the client before. So that's why like I bring this up. They fire you and the same client like is asking you to come back and through a different vendor. I don't know what to say. The same thing happened with even RRC. They asked like, there is an open position for project manager, do you want to come back? And we created enough trouble already through email. So I don't think like you will be able to go back anytime soon or ever. You will not be, maybe they might have blacklisted you for the rest, just like how they did with Infosys. And that's a backstory, right? Even with the Infosys, we had like a very hard time to get the payment from their vendor for the project we did for T. Rowe Price. And I literally have to write a threatening email saying that this is a undercover operation, expose that we are doing it, to the T. Rowe Price manager. That lady, like, I think you remember, right? You even you and me, we both were juggling between, and we were working on that project. So Terry, right? Terry Dean, I just remembered her. So she doesn't care, and I kept emailing her. Then I get a response immediately from Infosys manager, and he's also a director at Infosys. And he called a couple of times and said like, please don't reach out to the client anymore. We will try to settle it. But after 100 days, they finally settled it. So that's the thing, right? Again, in Infosys, we are for sure, like you have been blacklisted. But the surprise part, as you know, that like they keep emailing, the recruiters don't know. They keep emailing saying that there is a full-time, do you want to join Infosys? The same thing is happening with TCS and for Cognizant, right? You're already in those companies with an employee ID, but still they are offering full-time and other contract position. I don't get it at all. What is the logic? How can they be so naive and play dumb, saying that we have so many companies and so many businesses, so we cannot keep track of who is working in our companies? And then it is your fault, right? The company's fault. So the system is flawed by their own way in which they establish it and how they treat people. Why can't they retain them and put them in different projects, right? So you, again, I don't have much to say, but let's see, like I'll play this out for today. We can discuss and take this up with others, any guest, to question these things, because we both don't have answers to it.
Okay, these are some wacky assumptions. But I don't have anything detailed. I could get you something detailed, maybe by noon tomorrow.
Okay, that would be fine.
I mean, my concern right away is the implementation of continuing to use Box, which we did in cases and pipes, but it's just making a mess of our enterprise document system to use every single system under the planet. Since we already have Nubis and Docs, so many different things going on, and Box is really not designed for the kinds of things that we're trying to already have.
Let's take it up with just Skidra.
We talked with Edgar. I have no back details of what we discussed with Edgar.
Clear. I told Satya there are pits on the mainframe, but the source of truth is the access database, and then we
Uploads or whatever needs to be uploaded. Which part of that stuff needs to be saved as a permanent record forever in something?
That's public facing.
Okay, that's a fixed report.
Yeah, it's a fixed record, and it had
scope for this particular project.
Yeah, the data, all the data's there. It's not forced into a very formatted format. It's a much.
Well, it goes on and on. I just don't want to play this out completely, so I'm just closing it out. So that was the part, and again we can wrap this up for this week. Oh, we have Amar here. Okay.
Yeah.
Finally.
Hi, welcome, Amar. Yeah.
So we can continue this.
Yeah. Hi, Shiba. Hi, JK.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amar. Hopefully you have the power and you're back with us.
Yes.
We can do it, continue part 2 of this. I was explaining on what we discussed last week, and Shiva is back with us. So we were talking about the experiment and how we are going to take it forward with our experimental lab channel as such, to expose all that we have been doing it as an undercover operation. So the main focus was Ram's project with RRC under Shiva's name. So that I wanted to play that out rather than focusing on the interviews and the projects which we have not done. So that is what we are going to do. With that, we'll sign off from this week's episode. Thank you for watching us again. Please support us by subscribing to the channel. If you don't want to donate, that's fine. If you want to take part in our mission, you're welcome to join as a member. It's $1 only. You can sign up, and that way you will get to see member-only content, exclusive content, the secrets behind our experimental lab. Once again, thank you, Shiva. Thank you, Amar.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.